Health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 553-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. the man.
Another wonderful Wednesday afternoon to you, everyone. Thank you so very much for staying with Real FM Radio on NBC Television. For The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, our program airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station, simulcasting on the TV station as well as Facebook Live, and streaming live on YouTube as well. Jaquan is again our technical operator. I hope you're having a good day so far. And if you don't feel all that from time to time, some inexplicable fatigue and sluggishness and so on, get it checked out, but it very likely has to do with the heat and the humidity and the stuffiness. It can make you feel a lot more tired than you normally feel. Perhaps it's affecting your sleep and you don't even realize that. Maybe tossing and turning a lot more than you do, not sleeping soundly, as we say, like a log. Or once your head hits the pillow, you're gone. The heat might be making it a little more difficult in that regard. So be sure to be hydrated, to drink enough water. And don't play with that. Don't take it for granted that you're okay. We often like to play tough on things that are really no-brainers. We want to show that we can go without water even when there's water available. Just like some people, they want to show how late into the evening they can go without their headlights switched on their vehicles because they want to show that they have good eyes and so on. That's not what the law is about. It's about the moment the street lights are on, signaling that it's acknowledged publicly to be evening. I don't expect people to be listening to the weather reports. The sun sets today at 5:39 p.m., and then to wait for 5:39 to switch on your headlights. As a general rule, once the street lights are on, your headlights should be on. It's not about illumination and where you can see. It's about a form of signaling, a form of perception for other road users. In addition to your horn, which many of us abuse anyway, in addition to the sound of your engine, they're becoming a lot more silent because of advances in technology. A car can be coming up on you and you have no idea if you're listening to the sound because there's so many other competing sounds of, those idiots who believe that what they want to listen to is what everybody wants to listen to. So music that's very loud and so many other things, especially in the evenings, having your headlights and so on is a form of perception, assisting perception of other road users. It's a good day, like I said, we just have to make allowances for the heat. Doesn't hurt to carry around with you a baseball cap or, maybe one of the straw hats that should be abounding in St. Lucia, what with all the coconut leaves that we have and so many other things that we can make arts and crafts with. Lucians, let's try to take care of ourselves, especially now heightened activity for carnival and calypso and tents and all of that thing. There could be many dehydrations or forms of dehydration that creep up on us and we don't really recognize that. Even the fan that you use, it's cooling you down, but it's dehydrating you at the same time. It's carrying away moisture from the surface of your skin and doing all of that. So just a little word of caution. Thank you very much for the very nice felicitations and words of support and congratulation that so many of you sent me for being in the Senate yesterday. I really appreciate it. Some of you seem to think that I'm great. I don't think so. But I do go there and do my best. And I guess added with my own passions and convictions, it enables me perhaps to sound a bit more than I would crack up myself to be, but I appreciate it just the same. Speaking about the Senate, I'm not there very often. I'm not a regular. I'm not a permanent senator. So I don't know whether it is the effect of when something sticks out or stands out for you because you're not continuously exposed. Remember, I was talking the other day about the desensitization effect when something it's been thrust upon you, it's being put in your face, it's being, your senses are being assailed with that thing over and over again. I used the example of diabetes and I said, now I understand maybe why some people have called the manifest character of a certain public figure as being liabetes, because it's like a continuous assault on your faculties, on your senses, on your consciousness with lies and lies. Nowadays, it's like anytime this gentleman speaks, I can almost wait. I can almost wait for some minister or somebody to come out with a comprehensive, with a very credible, with a thorough debunking of just about everything that he says. He always comes under, George Odlum used to say that is the technique. Call them names before they call you. So people will think it's not you, it's them. So you're a thief. You make it a practice of your lifetime to be calling everybody volley, 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 in the hope that people will not have their gaze upon you. So you distract them from yourself, because you're a thief, so you're calling everybody volley. And it's like, I find these days, this is what's happening in the country. Everything is a corruption. Everything is they trying to fool you. Everything is they lying to you. Everything is they misrepresenting. And then within a day or two, it's all comprehensively debunked. But you come back with it again. Because just like the diabetes, like I said, how doctors and my own reading had explained, sometimes the build up to diabetes is what you call this seesaw of the blood sugar, high blood sugar, insulin response. So you indulge in too many sweets, especially those that they say that have a high glycemic index, meaning that, they rush into the bloodstream very quickly. They don't have any kind of delay on them of fiber or anything. So your blood sugar goes way, way up. At that time, your body systems and organs are working well. So your pancreas responds with a blast of insulin to bring down the sugar. And so you have that seesaw, high blood sugar. And then it's what they call reactive hypoglycemia, I think is what I read it is. So your body pumps out a whole lot of insulin to counter the high sugar in your blood. And then your body overreacts to the insulin, So what you think is hypoglycemia, which is excessive sugar, is responded to by hyperinsulinism. Your body sends out a whole lot of insulin, and the insulin knocks down the sugar to the point that shortly after taking all those sweet things, you feel hungrier than you were before because the insulin has reacted to an extreme, against the sugar. And then it happens again. You feel hungry, so you load up on some sugars and sodas and carbohydrates, and your body comes back again until too much of the sugar insulin extreme and pendulum swinging. Your tissues of your body develop what they say is insulin resistance. They have to cope with too much insulin because you're indulging in too much sugar. And guess what? The insulin resistance, which doesn't allow the insulin to carry the sugar into the tissues where it's really needed and so on to give you energy and a sense of satisfaction, results in a lot of sugar now lingering in the blood, because the blood is really supposed to be a transit point for the sugar so that it stays in the blood not too long and then the insulin transports it. But right now the cells are essentially putting up resistance against the insulin, so that results in the sugar lingering in the blood at too high a level. And what is supposed to be taking place, the process of the body cells absorbing the glucose so that they can do the work with it, glycolysis, becomes impeded, and a whole lot of things. I did my research and my reading, And that is what I find in the public space is happening these days. This kind of, you tell a lie, you say something that's not true. The insulin of refutation, of being debunked, is pushed back against your lies and so on. All you do, you come back with more. You come back with more. You're going to do one or two things. You're going to overwhelm the insulin, which is what I understand happens when that insulin thing. So it's not just insulin resistance. There may be insulin deficiency in that the pancreas tired of, gets fatigued from having to put out this huge amount of insulin. It gets tired. It stops producing, maybe not entirely, but sufficient insulin to cope with the blood sugar. So you have insulin resistance at the tissue level, not accepting the sugar from the blood. And then you have insulin deficiency, in the pancreas. It's not pushing out enough. And this is what I see is being done. So I understand now whoever coined that phrase liabetes. I don't know if they understood how wonderful an analogy it is. Because we're being lied to, and as soon as a lie is refuted, as soon as all this, disdainful deception is debunked, you come back with more again. I believe what is being done is an attempt to overwhelm our discernment. Because you see, when lies are egregious, you have this faculties called discernment. You say, but no, that can't be true. That can't be right. You check back, somebody comes out. But you keep doing it regardless of all the information and the proof to the contrary. You are overwhelming the public discernment, or so you think, or so you are attempting. So there comes a time where people become basically indifferent. They become blasé. They couldn't care less about it anymore because it's coming all the time in a non-stop avalanche of telling lies. Yesterday in the Senate, I heard some of that. I got into a little tiff, where I had to stand up on a point of order. I'll talk about that. But you say it. And people will think, oh, it doesn't matter. Every time it's an argument, the minister have to come and answer as a quarrel. But you know what happened? Even when you think you're tired of it and you don't want to head, the thing is working on you. It is working on you, And I began to tell you something that scientists are saying that a lot of why people become addicted to substances, whether alcohol, whether cocaine or crack or heroin or any of those things, is because of the same process that is taking place in the brain with something called neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters that give you a sense of satisfaction and well-being and contentment and joy and fulfillment and all of those things. When you go indulging in those mind-altering substances, those addictive substances, the mechanism of the addiction is pretty much the same as what they explained to you about the blood sugar and the insulin and all of that. The neurotransmitters are what cross the barrier between one part of the receptor cells in the brain and carry the signals to the other. It's not a hardwire connection. So neurotransmitters, which you might say are the pleasure chemicals or the messengers of the pleasure and contentment chemicals and so on, whether it is sex, whether it is the booze or anything or whatever that gives you that sense of pleasure and that sense of contentment and satiety and so on in your thing. You have excess of neurotransmitters being stimulated. And they're bombarding those receptor cells to the point where the receptor cells begin to do exactly what the tissues are doing for the insulin. Too much. And so the person who's addicted and caught in that cycle, they're experiencing less pleasure than they did before. Because even though they are neurotransmitters, the brain cells are kind of, being too much of them. They're putting up whatever resistance or shut down, or the neurotransmitter receptor cells are shutting down, are becoming fewer, whatever. There's a word that they call, I think, cauterized. They may be becoming cauterized. They're being desensitized because too much of it. And so the person who is using the coke or whatever, they realize that for the same blow, they're feeling less euphoria than they did before. And so they go and they take more, bigger blow, And the greater rush that they get now is the greater resistance that the receptor cells put. So they need more and more and more and more. And guess what? There comes a point where it's not just the receptor cells, the neurotransmitters that the brain itself naturally secretes. They become exhausted. They become fewer. So the drug molecules, the cocaine molecules, the crack molecules, the alcohol molecules, they begin to function as a replacement or substitute for your natural neurotransmitters. In order to get that jump across, the parts of the brain and so on, you need more booze, you need more coke, you need more crack, you need more heroin, you need more this and so on. And so now you need to be taking more of it, because not only has it dampened the effectiveness of your natural neurotransmitters, these molecules have become substitutes for the neurotransmitters. And so when somebody is addicted, pointless you go in and tell them that they need to snap out of it and they need to understand and give them a pep talk. It takes more than pep talk. A lot of us believe counseling and those things is all about being like a drill sergeant and giving somebody boot camp. You got to have them. Yeah, they wish they could. But the brain has become transformed. It has become rewired. They need detoxification. They need professional help and all of that to help them, because the very functioning of the brain has changed. This addictive substance. And in St. Lucia, if we don't have people, maybe you all think Richard Frederick is too much of a hard, a blowhard kind of fella. He's doing the right thing. Don't let Alan Shastney get away with anything. Refute it, push back. And that's what I want to tell you, you see, you all well-intentioned people, well-meaning people who always want to come and say, oh, let's move on. Let's leave that alone. Forget about that. We're giving him too much attention. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, because I'm telling you, the drug addict and the person who's pre-diabetic and all of that, if you see they had That kind of intervention could have been done in time. Maybe the day could have been saved for them. And in St. Lucia, this bombarding of the public with lies and so on. And then we want to say, leave it alone. No, you need people like Richard and others who are prepared to say, I am going to be vigilant and adamant that on no occasion, no matter how minute or innocuous, will I allow you to get away with this kind of things. We have to do it, folks. Because we say, okay, they bat me say, and we become desensitized, and we become, cauterized, and we become indifferent and passive to it. But it's there, it's working destructively on us, and we must never let that kind of thing happen. Let's never let it happen. I mean, I am in the Senate yesterday, and I am hearing, and that's one of the things I had to say, when I made my contribution. Senator Dr. Fira Polius, who I think based upon her getting her PhD and so on, whatever it is in education and so on, we have to accord her that the lady has moved up to the level of being an acknowledged scientist, whether it's in education, science, or whatever it is. Because a PhD degree, Doctor of Philosophy, doesn't mean that the person got it in philosophy. What it means is that the person has done a level of research and academic, accomplishment and so on, that they are deemed to have added or to have contributed a new dimension to the existing body of knowledge. So whatever thing in education, in the field, whether it was in secondary education, whether it was in, whatever to enable students to increase their depth perception or teaching whatever to dyslexic students and so on. It means that whatever the knowledge that was in that field that her PhD is in, the specialization area, she is deemed to have added a new dimension to the existing body of knowledge. And now she came and she crammed and she regurgitated, She brought forward a new body or contribution to the existing knowledge in that field, in that area, in that specialization. That's it. So when you do that, you are deemed by the university, faculty, senate, whatever they call it, to have philosophized. You have philosophized on the knowledge that is. You have become a philosopher. You have become somebody who has contributed to knowledge, not just repeating knowledge or cramming and going to things. You have become someone who was added to human knowledge in that particular field or area. And I had to notice yesterday and say, to Miss Senator Polius, even before she got her PhD and we all congratulated her. I remember I was in the Senate that day. Everybody, there was no sides bigging her up and so on for it and so on. Because we have to celebrate St. Lucian excellence. And I said to me, before that, Senator Polius sounded a lot more empirical. Somebody who is more upon knowledge and information that is provable, that is objective, that is concrete. Not wandering off on all kinds of speculation about the pensions reform. And we have to be careful that UWP pensioners or opposition pensioners are not going to be, since when have there ever been that issue about people not getting their pension or not getting pension adjustments because of who's red and who's yellow? Who really knows who's red or who's yellow in the country? She came and she said other things about people who they are deducting pension money from them and not paying it. We know that's happening. It has happened many times in the country. It happened with Bell Fashion. It happened with this. It happened with that. But she seemed only interested in Castrol's Apparel, Castrol's Apparel, more than 30 years ago, And a UWP government was in office at the time. But you know what? At the time, Castrol's Apparel was managed by Leo Clark, the man who's general secretary. So it's a matter of, you don't care about Majestic Industries or so many of them that you had issues with, the Viewfort, garment factories and all these things and so on. You don't get, so many of them that closed and they skipped town without paying the NIS dues or they were collecting it and not paying it. It's after something, that's what it's about, just like some people want to deal with impacts, but it's Richard Frederick. There's implicated. He's implicated there. Richard Frederick, that's what you want to go against. It's part of the reason why those people that we call impacts people, but are really MOCA people, major organized crime agency of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they were watching what was happening in St. Lucia. And that is why they only gave the summary, the synopsis, the one that has only the essay. You know, somebody said that Shelton had been saying at a domino table that he has to kill so and so because the person, you know, did a chembwa and it's the chembwa that killed, you know, his brother. So he has to take revenge for his brother. You know, these are in the summary report, just a summary of the things that were swirling around that we looked into. But the real hardcore thing with the evidence, we're not giving it to you. Because that contains the measurements, that contains the review of the ballistics and the fingerprint matches and a whole lot of things inside there. We want to know that when you take it, is not to weaponize it against a particular individual and leave others and so on, so that it looks like our investigation was conducted to nail people. That's what they were concerned about. You ain't taking our work and bastardize it in a manner that is really intended to carry out some kind of, you know, ad hominem agenda against people who are political opponents. We don't want that. You serious? We're prepared to hand over the evidence, and you can call us in and you can, you know, question us and tell us, well, look, this is what XYZ ABC. And we want to see you coordinate as a team that there is police, because the DPP is not an investigator. He's not. And so if you're going to hand over an investigative file, it's not to the DPP you hand it. You hand over an investigative file to investigators. And investigators in St. Lucia are the police. And then between the police and the DPP, they can coordinate to say, okay, this looks like something we can go forward with. This looks like something we can't go forward with. And like the DPP loves to say, further lines of inquiry. You can say, okay, we need to pull back this person who said that and question him because he claims he saw so and so and so. And we need to go back and do this and do that. And so that investigative file with the evidence that was never sent to St. Lucia. Never. Not even La Corbinier got it. La Corbinier got the summary report. Kenny Anthony got the summary report. They have never released that evidence file here in St. Lucia. And I'm coming back, you know, to Ferropolius. I know sometimes I talk and I seem to veer off into another direction. They wanted somebody with investigative credentials, investigative and law enforcement credentials like them, to be the person who could receive that file and in coordination with other people, as that person acting as a coordinator, with the DPP, with this, with that, with the other, to come together and to plan a strategy on how to move forward. And if you have a proper strategy, we, the MOCA investigators, we are prepared to take the stand and be cross-examined and say why we arrived at this conclusion, why we did this and why we did that. But when we look and we see all over is a politics, is people looking to see how they can nail people, is a politician there, is this one. A few people went to Jamaica, I tell you. They told them, no dice, you ain't getting nothing like that. Because we have seen the manner of how you came into office. And I have told you before, and I'm not mentioning his name again, there is only one man in St. Lucia in that period that those Jamaican investigators respected and trusted enough that they would have taken a chance on him to give him that evidence file. And to believe that he would have pulled together whoever. He would have been in contact with DPP. They would have worked out something that would have not been political. That would have not been ad hominem. One man. And if you see that man had wanted to continue his police career, I've told you that already. If he wanted to serve in another country, there's that other country that he could have just gone and they wouldn't have said, okay, you have to go through the ranks, we'll bring you in as an inspector. They would have taken him into their police force straight as an assistant commissioner. I'm telling you that. That St. Lucian man that some people were so eager to get rid of, if he chose not to accept the kick upstairs that they give him, pushing up to grade whatever, so that they could have, because really they had no legal basis, they would have been faced with a situation even worse than Osbert Regis if they had tried to just kick him out like that. And they had nothing against him except that he was appointed commissioner under the previous government led by Kenny Anthony. If he had wanted to make a transfer, to just take a job in that other country, a lateral thing, they would have hired him at no lesser rank than assistant commissioner. That was the kind of respect, the kind of credentials, the kind of qualification that he had. But let me come back to Ferropolius. Ferropolius suggests that the pensions reform bill can be used to target people, and then she goes into 50 people in a constituency who they were working, not for government, who they were working, and she knows of 500 of them that, they are working and they took NIC money from them and they did not pay it forward and so on, and suggesting that it's something that they pushing at opposition people. Dr. Firapolius must be very careful, given the constituency she has sought and lost in her bid to represent in the parliament, Denry North. Because Denry North is one of 6 constituencies that during the period 2016 to 2021, one of the most dastardly acts of political victimization, not against one individual, but against an entire constituency, was unleashed. And I'm talking about the Constituency Development Program. You can't be telling me that you want to come and talk about victimization of people based upon party, when your party, and did you say anything about it, withheld public funds, state funds. Remember that thing with Soufre? Somebody was trying to say, oh, they were not state funds, they were crown funds, and they were not government funds, they were public funds. Remember this whole joke thing? Somebody who doesn't seem to have? 6 constituencies, all represented by, and because they were represented by the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party, were given not a peco under this Constituency Development Fund allocations. Nothing for them. As blatant and as glaring, as egregious as that, it was done here in St. Lucia. The predecessor administration gave you. They didn't withhold from you. You had 6 just as well. 6, and when it's instituted, they never withheld anything from you. You had the gall. You had the effrontery. You had the heartlessness. You were so unconscionable to watch that Dr. Kenny Anthony, Viewfort South, Honorable Moses Jabatis, Viewfort North, Honorable Sean Edward, Denry North. Pharaoh, you should know about that. Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, Castries South, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, Castries East. There's a 6th one, sorry, but sometimes the obvious. Yeah, Honorable Alva Baptist, Labrie. Not a peco for them. It's not your money, it's state funds under a program that is agreed, that is established like it's your money. You withholding it from them. So I want to say this. Senator Dr. Firapolius, who I think has an eye set on going there again. People like you all need to come and recite a certain redemption prayer. When you all come and talk about discrimination and victimization and opposition supporters and the pension reforms thing, maybe have a little trickery in it, to do something, or to try to win votes and do this kind of thing. You got to be very, very, very careful. Because that kind of heartlessness, that kind of political brutality, that once you don't support me, and it was actually articulated by another female, Dr. Polius, another female called Fortuna Belrose, and it became infamously known as the Belrose Doctrine. I don't think anywhere before did anybody ever come out openly and verbalize and articulate political victimization by a government like that. But it was executed without any kind of compunction, without any kind of attempting to mask it or to hide it under the Constituency Development Program. I'll have more to say, but we pass time for the commercial break. This is the real issues.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved one.
The man.
By the way, folks, I'm wearing sneakers today. Alright, how do I show them to you? Not because they're so nice, but just to prove. I'm wearing sneakers today. They're quite comfortable. They feel quite good. I ordinarily don't wear sneakers to work. Sometimes I do, but today I'm wearing them purposefully. Not that sometimes you just feel for a change of shoe to see whether, this one will have a little less pressure on your toe or whatever it is. You know how shoes can get. Depending on how much walking you have to do, depending on how hot it is, you might feel for a little change of shoe sometimes. Which one feels more breathable. But today I'm wearing sneakers. Because it is World Sneaker Day, is it? Sneakers Day? Sneakers, it's singular, plural, not sure, but... Well, this is one thing I just wanted to let you know, that I am in solidarity with whatever it stands for. But I'm not going to show off on that one. Good. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back in the Senate. I've been asked to serve again in the Senate. I think I am subbing for Senator Dr. Alison Jean. And Mr. George Goddard, the trade unionist, was also there, and I think he'll be back tomorrow holding on for Senator Kejiana Toussaint Challery. So this is why we were serving there yesterday. There's a new independent senator in the person of Mr. Ember Charles. And who doesn't know Mr. Ember Charles, especially those of us who work in the media? He really is considered to be an elder, a maven, a doyen when it comes to media practice and education and so on, and helping others. So he is the new independent senator replacing Mr. Nurani Aziz, who has decided to focus more on his other pursuits and involvements. Mr. Aziz, of course, is an educator, as a teacher. Many people, young people, would know him as someone who taught them, and is also someone who is into training and management and human resource management and that sort of thing. I believe are his fortes, but it was a joy serving alongside him the few times that we encountered each other. In the Senate, we do encounter each other. Otherwise, as I've told you, he's the son of one of my favorite dining places, restaurants and breakfast places and so on. His father, Mr. Mohammed Aziz, is the proprietor of the Country Kitchen Cafe, and they serve very good food at a very affordable price. But I think the reason I always love going by Country Kitchen Cafe and Mr. Mohammed Aziz and his wife Jem is because of the wonderful hospitality and kindness and courtesy and conversation. A kind of man who, any little break he gets, he'll come outside into the dining area, not just me, many other people, to sit and have a little chat with them and so on, and it always makes you feel so at home. I think over the quarter century that I've known him or so, I'm sure it's 25 years, if not more, these are some of the things that keep me coming back all the time. And Nurani, his son, is really no different from his dad, including sometimes when I encounter him there at the restaurant. Sometimes he's there actually eating like anybody else, chatting, and so on. He'll come over and sit and have a nice chat with me. And one of these days I hope to have a program on, some things that he helped me with his knowledge of certain areas that I was not strong with. And he helped me with it, and I hope one of these days I'll be able to come out and base the better part of a program on that. One of the jokes that I gave to Mr. Aziz and his wife when I called and I said, "Do you have anything left?" And they say, "No, everything done already." I say, "Yeah, right, because this is the only restaurant I know, where the owners, the operators, the food is so good that once they see there's a little slowdown, towards the end, they themselves, they eat the food. Oh yes, they eat their own food and so on, and they enjoy it or whatever. There's a talk, I don't know how true it is, where people say, observe some people, they go to sea and they catch fish and they never eat the fish themselves. They sell it all to people and so on. People believe it's something they're using to catch the fish, whatever. People make up all kinds of stories. They make it up about bread, people who have bakeries. But I can tell you the Aziz people, you know, at the end of the day, they very proudly will sit down and enjoy their own meal from what they have prepared for others and so on, and maybe even take some home and really enjoy it and so on. So they have faith and they believe, and they can demonstrate to you their own confidence in what they do, that you can have no fear about it. Wonderful people. I can't stop talking about them as nicely as I do, because I've really lived and experienced them, like I said, for about a quarter century. Okay, by the way, Miguel and I, we gave a big up to Leo's restaurant the other day, and the first thing when I entered there after that, on one occasion I've been there, was you know, one of the family came over and said, thank you so very much for the endorsement. You know, I believe there's a greater sense of hospitality and good treatment, and, you know, the understanding that you have to treat people well. There, the business places, the masses and so on, whose cashiers you still find from so on, who generally, I think, customer service in the country is improving. And so you come, you talk, you go to town on something, and then you notice that it's improving. I think we should say so. There have been public bodies. It's not just, you know, the private sector. Public bodies, you know, the post office, another place where the people there are absolutely great in terms of the customer service, in terms of the courtesy. They don't give you attitude and so on. And at the end of the day, what competition does the post office have? So you can't say it's competition now, they're feeling or anything like that, or they're being run out of town by somebody else. It'll become nice. Inland revenue, you know, various government departments, a new kind of professionalism, you know, has come inside them, marked by courtesy and good, you know, treatment of people and so on, and showing respect for people. And they talk a lot about the young generation and the new generation. I can tell you, the younger generations that have taken over customer service in those places, they are worlds better, you know, different and better than those people I used to know of long ago, who had an attitude and arrogance about them, like, you know, they can talk down to you in a kind of way. So, you know, let's not always be dissing the youth. I think the youth have brought a new kind of culture, a new kind of ethos, a new kind of professionalism, and I hope that they will continue. And talking about customer service, you know, you have to mention again one of those places that I know, Skinny's Chicken. You know, it's not just the chicken. I'm sure maybe there are places I've eaten chicken that tastes, maybe, I'm not saying so, I'm just saying better. But, you know, just for the treatment, for the kindness, for the courtesy, for the politeness of the people at Skinny's Chicken, I will keep on going there. It don't matter if a little rain sprinkling you, if you have to stand, if you have to wait among a lot of people and so on, I will continue going. From Skinny himself, you know, his wife, you know, his son, the other workers there, another one who I thought of his son, they're like family. You know, they tight-knit, they close, and you can see they're concerned about serving people, moving things on time, not letting you wait unnecessarily and so on. You know, I just like to see this kind of niceness that is taking hold and taking root in St. Lucia. So it's not all bad, you know, when you and me come and talk about the garbage and so on, who knows whether this thing is not getting better, and maybe it hasn't gotten so much better to catch my eye that I can come and talk about it. I still think we are far way off. But the bikers I've been talking about, I see less instances, less occasions where they do the craziness that they do. They're still doing it, but to me it has become a little better, a little now. It could just be in my little zone of observance and travels and so on. But I believe the bikers, you know, they are improving, and maybe a lot of it has to do with the police too. The police are up there checking on them and so on, checking, you know, for license, registration, insurance, you know, those kind of things. So they know the cops. So all parties involved, keep up the good work. Okay, folks, keep it up. Now, I have a few messages there. Someone sent me a message. Fellow journalist says, "Good day, Senator. Could I get a number for the mother whose daughter was injured on Jeremy Street? I'd like to see what we can do on this end to share her story and hopefully get her some support. Her story moved me to tears." And a few people told me the same thing. They were deeply moved by this story of Cindy Alexander is her name, who was on this program on Monday, was it? Monday? Oh, yes, it couldn't have been yesterday because I was in the Senate. And then when she said about, you know, her daughter who was hit on a pedestrian crossing on Jeremy Street in Castro, is 9-year-old. She's very depressed and so on, very active, outgoing child, you know, and now she has to be bedridden, cared for, wearing pampers, and worst of all, the mother herself is going through, you know, a great challenge, being a patient, brain tumor patient, need treatment and maybe surgery and so on in Martinique and all of that. It's quite a lot for her and so on. So yes, anybody who can think along those lines on their behalf. So to my fellow broadcaster, give me a reminder after the program, okay? So I can remember. I'll try to see if I can store your message in a manner that I will remember. But give me a reminder after the program, because I would like to ask her whether it's okay to give out her number and that sort of thing. Sometimes just being on the safe side. So don't forget after the program. Now, the House of Assembly is meeting today, of course. They are discussing an amendment to the St. Lucia Citizenship Amendment Bill, I think it is called. And of course, it has to do with the different conditions and situations of applying for citizenship, whether under the CIP, whether by naturalization. I think you get by marriage or whatever it is, and so on, to get citizenship. So, they're probably dealing with those things today. I saw Honorable Jeremiah Norbert, and after he spoke, who else was speaking at the time? Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste. And then, I have to break off to listen to our own midday news to see what's there and so on. Keep an eye on in-house. They can sometimes have things that I don't know. So I know a lot of people will be following the Parliament. I understand that. The real issues people are those kinds of people who are intelligent people, and they like to follow intelligent discussions and so on. I appreciate that. I wanted to say something further on yesterday's sitting of the Senate. Because I'm not there often, certain things really stand out and they stick out almost like a sore thumb. And I'm just wondering, how come presiding officers in the Senate are so tolerant of what seems to me to be a deliberate, device or stratagem or tactic of interrupting people under the guise of point of order, just the same way that people say leader of the opposition is Lou, leader of, although I say it should be Loto, L-O-T-O, but leave out the, I suppose it makes it. But point of order, oh my goodness, that sounds like poo, It's like it is being thrown all the time, and I don't want to in any way disparage or denigrate the Senate, but, if someone were to start calling point of order poo, it would probably be because of the abuse of it and the banging on the table, interrupting your own side, And to bring up what kind of points, I heard Senator Dominic Fede, the leader of opposition business, continually trying to make an issue of how many people are going to benefit from the pensions amendment. How many people are going to benefit? I want to know. Is it just 120? 100? And I'm saying, but what is the relevance of this? And I'm going to explain to you, not because it's an opposition. You pass an amendment to the pensions, and you were saying that, look, nobody, government pensioner, should be getting a pension of less than $725 a month. That will not impact every single pensioner. Let us imagine that there are, for argument's sake, 1,000 pensioners in St. Lucia. But 200 of them are getting a pension of less than 725. Some of them will be getting 700 already. So you want to say, okay, if you're getting 700, we'll add the 25 on it. If you are getting 300, okay, we have another 425 that we're going to put on it. So the quantity for each person will not be the same. And not every single person who is a pensioner will benefit from the increase. Because if you're already getting a pension of $750, it means clearly you are above the stipulated minimum of $725. So they don't have anything to top you up with. It is the people whose pension would need to be topped up so that it reaches a de minimis of $725. These are the people to be concerned about. It's not a matter of how many people will benefit. It's a matter of whoever is a pensioner who is getting less than $725 a month, it will be topped up to reach $725. It doesn't mean everybody's pension will be increased. What they're saying, like the minimum wage, that nobody after August the 1st, they want to be getting a rate of pay or wage rate that is less than, $650 an hour or something like that. It's not everybody. Some people are already getting far above that. You're not going to go and touch that. Is the others who are below that, those who are already there, they stay there. They're already at the minimum. So I kept hearing this thing about, oh, how many people? How many people? This one said 128. This one said 149. This one said this and that. I said, you know, what is this thing? Why that debate? And it's become so petty. Don't tell me it's understanding. You don't have that. It's just like it's a minimum. There's a minimum wage. They put in a minimum pension. That nobody as a government pensioner to begin with is going to receive a pension of less than 725. If somebody is getting 650, they're going to top them up by $75 so that, you know, they're going to top them up by $75 so that they can reach the 725. What's difficult? What is this thing that you need to know a quantum of how many people? It's a simple case of whoever qualifies because of the pension bracket that they're in, you know, that they're going to bring them up to make sure that they reach, you know, that 7. The other thing that I heard, a big brouhaha is erupting when Harold Stanislaus in his presentation is trying to say that the Labour government has raised the excise tax on fuel, on petroleum products. And everybody is looking, especially on the government, oh, when did that happen? Because as far as I remember, the Labour government, when the prices were going out of control, decided to forego, to waive, to reduce, to do everything to keep the prices down. To me, it was the United Workers' Party which raised the excise tax per gallon on gasoline, if I remember, from $2.50 to $4. But the man is taking the social and economic review and trying to read it in a manner that suggests that there were increased collections, you know, they're talking about, but he trying to make it sound like there was an increased rate of the excise tax, when what the thing is really saying, there was an increased rate of volume in terms of connection. So many times I follow the Antigua news because I lived and worked there for several years, that the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Gaston Brown, always reports that customs revenues are up. They have not raised the duties and whatever it is that the customs people collect. But because of more efficient and better collection and stopping all the different waivers and concessions that they were given, that you will find in a certain period, they'll tell you, customs has reached record levels of revenue collection. So that before, in the same period last year, they collected, you know, 100 million. This year they've collected 180 million. But the fee, for one of them I think is called Revenue Recovery Charge, RRC. That the 10% revenue recovery charge has not changed. It is just that there is greater efficiency, all right, in the collections. And so they are netting more revenue, but the rate of the tax has not changed. But they're trying to make it sound like this government has increased, you know, whatever the rate of excise tax on fuel. And, you know, it's like, not me that said, look it right there and so on. And I pointed out, I said, if excise tax is a tax, no government can raise excise tax in secret. It has to have some kind of backing of a legal instrument for it to happen. Dominic Fede tells me, oh, they don't need to come and... It's not a new law I was saying that they have to come and pass, or they have to pass an excise tax. It can come as a statutory instrument, but a statutory instrument is still a legislative instrument. Because the primary act or whatever it is or legislation can say that the minister may from time to time adjust, you know, the excise tax based upon whatever factors and so on. But there is a law which gives that legal effect. And so what you do is that if there is an adjustment, you move a statutory instrument, which is the very name statutory instrument, tells you that it is a legal instrument. But that statutory instrument has to be presented in Parliament. Statutory instrument, so and so, authorizing the minister responsible for petroleum, whatever, so on, to adjust the excise tax in accordance with whatever, with the act and so on, section provision, whatever in the act and so on. You do not go and change any measure of taxation or adjust it. Without taxation is something that has to have legal footing, legal foundation, legal, you know, endorsement and all of this kind of thing. You don't just go and do it. But they want to make people believe that the government, and this petroleum thing continues on and on and on, that somehow the government has it in its power to alter prices and to change prices and to do this and to do that and so on. Things that when they were there, they never did. And I'm just wondering, there's inflation everywhere in the world. Where do you get the idea that St. Lucia, which does not produce or refine petroleum or crude oil, that we have the power to, play around with the prices and do this sort of thing? Then again, yesterday I'm hearing the same thing about world market prices, and quoting that in so and so year the price of Brent crude was $100 and something a barrel, and we had it the price at $13.95, and now the price of Brent crude is $83. And I'm saying, there they go again, using the benchmark prices for crude oil to come and question the pricing at the pump in St. Lucia of refined petroleum products. We do not import crude oil. We do not refine crude oil. And whatever the price was back in 2008, which is what the man was saying, you know how many years between 2008 and 2024? 16 years. There has been all kinds of inflation and price adjustments and supply chain issues and all those kinds of things. You want to come and make a comparison with prices at 2008 and 16 years later in 2024 to claim that the government is essentially price gouging people on fuel? And you're using the price of crude oil, which we do not import, we do not refine, we don't deal with it, to say that, we import the oil when it is already refined and into its various constituents of diesel, gasoline, kerosene, LPG, all this kind of thing. That's what we do. And so they come and they try to play with people's minds with all this kind of foolishness over and over and over again. And that is why I say, we must be careful that we do not become desensitized to deception. Because that is what is being done. The deception, you're getting hit with it over and over and over again. You become desensitized to it. You push it out of your mind, but it's there working on you all the time. Deception, desensitization is a device that is being deliberately employed against us. We must be vigilant, on guard against it all the time. And we must be adamant that we are not going to let it subdue us, and we're not going to submit to it. We do for another commercial break. Let's take it now. When we come back, phone lines open for your calls and your messages.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the real issues on this Wednesday. It is the 27th, isn't it, of the month of June 2024, and we have a caller on the line already. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my friend.
Hey, how are you doing now?
Man, nice choice of sneakers, man.
How you know my sneakers? The camera not on the sneakers?
Yeah, I have a drone, you know, Sheldon. I have a drone.
Oh, you have a drone. Okay. That.
It's revealed to me, you know.
Okay, that drone.
That you are wearing, and it shows that you are standing in solidarity with whole niggas day.
That drone must be like a spider.
But it wouldn't be caught up in nowhere. Sheldon,
Yeah, man.
there seems to be a behavioral pattern that is being manifested by Dominic Fede. That behavioral pattern, you know, it manifested itself when he was a minister. You remember the time when he pumped up his feast for Kenny Anthony, the banging of the tables, and that has gone from him being a minister to him being a senator. Now, that has to be stopped. There's a level of tolerance. There's a level of grace period that has been manifested. But when you see you blatantly, want to disrupt, or you want to just, as you say, kind of, prevent people from making a contribution. To me, the Senate, the President of the Senate, President Alvina Reynolds, I think you need to be a little more firm. You need to control that session. You need to take control over people with bad behavior pattern. And Dominic Fede is one of them. You see, Dominic Fede is one of them. You need to ensure that law and order always prevails. And so I'll be monitoring the next Senate, and I want to ensure that if he go out of alignment, he's been pulled up.
Yeah.
You see, because you have many people watching that. Look, we have the youth parliament there going on tomorrow if God spare. So you want to ensure that people who look to go into this careers, they conduct themselves in a better way.
Yes.
The next contribution I want to make Shelton. I feel that St. Lucia is going to have a brain drain, because people who want to make a contribution to their country, their names are being slandered, their reputation is being destroyed. And one of the persons whose names of late who have been, insulted, disrespected, slandered, is this young man, McLeod Emmanuel.
Yes.
This man's name is being slaughtered, for no reason. And look at the basis of his name being denigrated. He attended a Lakers basketball game.
Yeah.
Shelton, the man have worked for all those years. I have friends of mine every year they go for a trip to Disneyland. So if I support in Chelsea football team, I cannot go and see a Chelsea game because the man go and see a Lakers, a team of his choice, because he go and see a Lakers basketball team game. His reputation is being destroyed for that. I'm saying to you, McLeod Emmanuel, to be resolute, my brother, to be resolute, to be resilient. And I'm calling upon his wife to stand by him, stand by McLeod Emmanuel, pray for him, support him.
Yes.
The man is a man of good integrity. I know this young man for over 20 years.
Okay.
His integrity is impeccable. And my last contribution, Shelton. So, Shelton, what is the meaning of the word tourist?
Someone who tours.
but that is just, but that's it direct. It have nothing like skin color attached to it.
No, it's not.
Man, I listened to your leader of opposition saying how we prepare the Darren Sammy Stadium.
And where's the tourists? You're not seeing them.
And you not seeing the tourists? And you had thousands of people from India. I saw the game India against Australia. You see the amount of Indians they had there?
Yes.
The West Indies games. At one point in time, Jaim was asking St. Lucians to come out with Lucian flag because the whole stadium was decked out with Trinidadian flags.
Yes.
So they had tourists there.
Yes.
Shelton, have a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much. The lines are open for your calls, 724-7325, the mobile line that you can use to WhatsApp call us, 758-724-7325. WhatsApp call us on that, especially useful for those of you overseas. And I hope, Bernard Haynes, that you'll have better fortune getting the line. Apparently you've been having a bit of difficulty, so make sure you're inputting those numbers properly and that you're not in some tunnel where the signal is being, truncated or cut off. But we have another call on the line. Hello.
Hello, good day. Shelton.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
How you doing? I'm good. It was nice seeing you in the house yesterday.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, well represented, as eloquent as usual.
Yes.
Sakika with you, Fede.
Asa misika diswe mun chaque 30 secondes pour point of order et puis si vous avez deux boutons là point of order, supposé vous tuer mon nan qui ça a dit dans standing orders là.
He does that all the time.
And sometimes to give a speech of his own, like he's just trying to interrupt people. And it's a point where he don't agree with you. There is no such thing as disagreement. Everybody disagrees. People's freedom of expression. Once it's done within the rules, he has to stop you, interrupt you.
These guys, I say that before they come to the house, they actually plan this thing.
I don't know, but I just find that there's too much tolerance for that kind of thing.
I say the same thing.
It don't matter whether it's him. It don't matter whether it's anybody else. But
they're getting away with anything. So every time they will go ahead and do the same thing. And other people will get, sidetracked. They will miss the bigger picture of what is really happening. The lemon can wonder, avoid it. But already, it's a distraction. You could see that a distraction they're trying to cause out of desperation because you're desperate.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your.
I often don't give exposure to things that come from, certain people, I often, see it and I don't want to come and repeat it. This whole thing that they're going after McLeod Emmanuel, I happen to know a few things that I could share with you that will immediately refute what they're trying to on him about property, indicating that because somebody has that means that they corrupt. So right now people cannot, be successful and have things anymore. Once they have it, it's corrupt. But it's only for some people, not for others. Anyway, we have a call on the line. Hello.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
How do you do?
I'm fair to partly cloudy. I'm learning,
Well, I'm cool and easy as the wind blows.
And I'm fair and lovely as the deep blue sea. Over many years I learned it, and I learned it well. Go ahead. What's on your mind today?
All right. However.
Yeah?
Shelton, I said however.
However.
Yes. So, Shelton, yesterday, man, you had me Googling toute cette catégorie toujours massa di 10 minutes. I don't know, Shelton. Why do y'all do these things?
Okay, that.
Shelton, do you not realize that the people on the other side, half of their problem is that they can't catch up to the vocabulary and intellectual capacity of the people on the other side?
Okay,
I'll not realize that.
I promise you that I will tone it down, and what you heard yesterday will be the last time.
No, I'm not asking that you tone it down. I'm asking that you further allow the cockalorum to expose himself. Because, listen, in your presentation alone, you confused the man. You had the man all over the Darren Summit cricket ground. And so he had to be pounding the table, the desk, to get attention because, hello, what you saying, dear God, sir? So I have to interrupt you because I don't understand that. Let's go to the gutter. Let's go by the gutter. Let's go. And you think it was bad?
No, you see, Dominic.
Yeah.
How they call it, carpal tunnel or whatever thing. He's gonna get some bad chronic hand injury and so on. He'll not even be able to hold it, when he wants to.
I know what.
Because he does, he does really lash that table, and hard to, and continuously.
But Shelton, as bad as you were, when his name comes on, George quartered.
Yeah, he was.
And he's not going to tone it down, The man get worse, Kodibuski. The man get worse. What do you expect? And then you have, after you guys are done, somebody from Dong So, the West Coast, he come. And I tell you, he's got to go to them fellas who want to stay. And he's going to come and talk about Indian giver. When he forget the Indian sweeper. And he forget that same Indian giver gave a lot of things to the United Workers' Party that took a lot of things from St. Lucians. Let me tell you,
did you hear me shout even with my mouth turned off? I said, Nancy and Guy, they will deal with you. They must be out looking for you already. when somebody can...
No. He that said that on their side it come from, it's okay.
No, I know. So I said, hear
that.
Yeah.
If somebody on the opposite side had said
yes, it would become everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Indian give us story scenario is okay. But Shelton, do you know there was Parliament this morning?
Yes, I mentioned it.
Shelton, Parliament went through without a hiccup, without an issue, without anything. No stories, no body poo today. There was no point of order.
Because a certain person was not there.
The man was not there.
Now I'm saying
the man that has put the most in Parliament was not there.
In times like this, where you have had so much to say, writing 5-page open letter and so on, should you not have been there to at least pose a question to a minister? Because the Minister of Investment, who's the minister in charge of the CIP, actually said, I have a lot more to say, but I want to say it when he's here. Well, probably he'll never come because he can't face it. He prefer to be out there, all kind of round table and town hall meetings and this and that. Come and pose a question to the minister about the CIP. A few questions and so on,
Exactly. Now, when he's at the wrong table, there he's able to impose his will and batter young media professionals. But I want for them to look at Youth Parliament tomorrow. And they would need to learn a thing or two, even a few, from Youth Parliament tomorrow. Shelton, these men cannot take on the success stories in this country. So the more they can ascribe negativity and create in the minds of their 43%ers the doubt. Okay? Nothing happening. I see an supposedly educated woman. All she can comment on Facebook and social media. St. Lucia finished. But she needs it.
That's right.
St. Lucia finished.
Anyway, I hear a call coming there. Let's see if we can squeeze in one or two more before we leave. Thank you very much. All right. So this is the real issues. I heard a phone ringing, and it's probably a WhatsApp call, so we have to let the little network loop, complete its circle. Do we have that person, or the call is coming through now? Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real issues. Hello. Hello? Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, that's another of the thing, folks. When you call us on the WhatsApp, you have to understand it's not like the straight, how we call that, landline, the hard wire and so on. So it has to do its little, network loop or whatever it is. So it's not as instantaneous until it comes through. So sometimes I hear it ring, but the connecting of it may take a few seconds. Do we have the person? All right, okay, so we get in another call. That one sounds more like a hard wire this time. All right, this is the real issues. Do we have you on the air, caller? Hello? Oopa. All right, okay. All right, what we should do, let's release that call and let's see if we can get another and so on. All right. Let's see if we're getting that one. Hi, good afternoon. Real issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
What kind of thing you causing our phone to do there?
Me? Not me, my brother.
I suspect you like Dominic Fede. You're calling on a point of order.
No. Don't disrespect me like that.
Okay, all right. I withdraw, honorable member. I withdraw and I apologize.
Good. Shelton, listen. I heard you talking about the lies being told by, those UWP people will desensitize people and they may stop listening to or stop seeking the truth and so on because of all of those lies. We become overwhelmed. Shelton, I have a different point of view.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. And let me give it to you by, illustration.
Okay.
You remember this story, the boy who cried wolf?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yes, I remember after he cried wolf a number of times. When wolf did really come, nobody had taken him on.
Of his lies.
Yeah.
Nobody believed him after that until and when he did it, last time, that was when the real wolf came
and ate him.
that's correct. Right. The other one is there's this poem. I don't know if you ever heard this one, if you ever read this one, but I learned that one from the Anglican school. It's a poem entitled Matilda by a Frenchman called Hilaire Belloc.
I believe that may have even been made into a movie, but go ahead, I think so.
Yeah, but let me just give you the first 4 or 5 lines so people can understand. Those who don't know it can understand what it is all about. Matilda told us such dreadful lies. It made one gasp. It made one gasp and stretched one's eyes. Her aunt, who from her earliest youth kept a strict regard for truth, attempted to believe Matilda, and the effort very nearly killed her.
Wow.
Shelton, listen. What is happening with those UWP people is that the lies that they tell, which are being debunked over and over and over, what it is doing is that it is turning people off and away from them, especially, those people who are not hardline UWPs, the proto UWPs, those surrogates and so on. Those people, especially independent people, it is independent voters. It is turning those people off and away from them. Because, when you lie day after day after day, issue after issue after issue, and when the lies are debunked, you simply move on to another lie. And you do it again and again and again. Shelton, people will not become, I don't believe people are becoming desensitized or overwhelmed. I believe what is happening is that people are turning away and people are being turned off by those people.
Okay,
so let them carry on smartly. Let them continue lying as per usual. And let us see where that gets them when the next elections are called. Thanks, Shelton.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so I've been told, that even while I was saying about it was on, that the House had already been adjourned sine die. Yeah, not sine die anymore, it's sine die. Someone had sent a message saying that Dominic is suffering from short man syndrome. The politicians are the ones who started to use the destruction of reputation device to get at each other. They know themselves. All right. Okay, folks, that's it for us today. Not going a minute over the time. I'm going to leave it because I don't want the lotto creeping up and then I have to just suddenly cut off in mid-sentence. So thank you very much, everyone. We won't be here tomorrow. Remember, Senate is on. Shelton Daniels signing out and saying goodbye. Enjoy the rest of Wednesday.
The man, the voice.
Or 8. The big formal TX Bolt run is 2x. The winning numbers for the midday draw of Wednesday, 26 June 2024 were Double Daily Grand 2, 4, 16, 17. Big 4, 1, 4, 4, 8. The big formal TX Bolt run is 2x. Pick 2, 0, 9. The Pick 2 Multi-X Bolt run is 2x. 1 off, 2, 6, 4. Lucky 3, 3, 2, 2. The Lucky 3 Multi-X Bolt run is 2x.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex,